Since I've started this channel, one of the questions I get asked quite commonly is how do you pick the potting angle? Well, in truth, I've been playing the game so long now that I don't really have a system that I use. I kind of can just be quite intuitive and sort of feel the potting angles or sense what the potting angles are. I don't have any system. But when I first started to play this game and I first started to be taught snooker, one of the theories I was taught was the ghost ball system. Now, this is a term that you may have heard, and I'm going to try and explain it in this video. What the ghost ball system is, if we're trying to pot the red, is we would grab another ball. In this case, I'm going to grab the yellow, and this will become the ghost ball. And I'll place it in a perfect line to form a plant to the corner. So it's an absolute straight plant to the corner. And then when I step back behind the shot, I look at it and behind the cue ball, and all I try and do from here is hit the yellow absolutely full ball, hit it as full as possible, and that will give me the potting angle on the red. So if I get down on the shot and someone takes the yellow ball away, gives me the potting angle on the red, and I just cue it through on that line. We need to be mindful with the ghost ball system because it's not 100% accurate. It doesn't always hold up. And it tends to fall down when we get to angles that leave a much thinner pot, much more of an acute angle on the pot. So I've set up the red in exactly the same position, but rather than having the pot from somewhere here, I'm moving the cue ball so it's in the middle of the table, leaving a much thinner pot on the red. Now, if we set up the ghost ball system, so again, I'm going to put a yellow to leave a straight plant to the corner, and then I'm going to come round and I'm going to attempt to pot it, attempt to hit the yellow full in the face. What happens is when it's a thinner pot or more of an acute angle is there's a squeeze effect, and actually the ball, rather than going towards the centre of the pocket, it's going to squeeze more to the jaw, and actually from this sort of angle we would end up missing it on the thick side. So it's always going to be a slightly thicker pot than you need. So you have to bear that in mind. Let me show you what happens. So I'm going to leave the yellow there, I'm going to get down on the shot, and when I'm down on the shot, somebody else is going to take the ball away for me. And as you can see, the ball is squeezed across, so it's hit the jaw. I hit that ghost ball system exactly the same as I did previously. I hit the yellow exactly full in the face, or I would have hit the yellow full in the face if it wasn't removed away, and I've ended up missing it thick. So you have to bear that in mind, that when the pot gets to a more of an acute angle, there will be that squeeze effect, and that's going to end up, you're going to end up missing it thick. So you have to adjust that fraction more on that angle. Now, I say I don't really have a system anymore that I use when I'm picking up potting angles, and it's quite intuitive, and that's true, but I think the ghost ball system that I was taught when I first started playing the game is still with me to some extent, because what I tend to do, and I've set the balls up again, let's say I'm on this pot to the corner, I don't just stand behind the pot from the cue ball end. I often, if I'm struggling to see the angle, I will walk round so I'm in a straight line behind the object ball in the corner pocket, and that gives me that sense of feeling the ghost ball, of seeing the plant to the corner. And okay, I don't ever really identify it anymore as a ghost ball, but it just gives me the sense I need, that when I come back round behind the shot, I can now see the potting angle where I need to contact the red with, and I can just get down and play the shot. So that is the ghost ball theory, and it's a great theory to help you get into potting angles and starting to build up that knowledge of what the potting angles are. Just be mindful for the ones where it gets a little bit thin, a little bit too acute, because you will get that squeeze effect and you will end up missing pots thick. But definitely a system that, if you're new to the game, can really help you to start to identify those potting angles. It's something I used years and years ago when I first started to play the game, and then it became a bit more intuitive, and I don't use it in quite the same way anymore. I want to hear from you guys. Is this a system you've used? If it's not, is there other systems you've used, or has this helped you in any way? I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm always fascinated to hear different ideas and different concepts of how to go about all aspects of pool. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, then please hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more cool content on the way, and I'll catch you next time.